Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm Shahana Wahid, and we will start from the course of the experimental pharmacology of third year of PharmD study. Course number is 510, and this is the first lecture of the course. Let's start it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी वयस्सिर ली अमरी वाहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली. What we will discuss in the introduction of the pharmacological experiments, and we will discuss what is pharmacology. Pharmacology is basically the science of drugs, and we will learn several effects of the drug on the living system. So pharmacology में हमारे पास we have two terminologies, pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. If we talk about the pharmacokinetics, it is basically the absorption, distribution, metabolism, and the elimination of the drug, and it is basically the effects of a living or body to the drug. यानी drugs उसमें क्या changes करी हैं drug के अंदर, it is called as the pharmacokinetics, and we have the pharmacodynamics in which drug exert its effects on the body. This is through the and produces its effects by binding certain types of receptors and activating the certain types of signaling pathway, जो कि बेसिकली फार्माकोडायनेमिक्स के अम्ब्रेला के अंदर आता है. तो वी हैव टू टर्मिनोलॉजीज इन फार्माकोलॉजी. वन इज़ फार्माकोकाइनेटिक्स एंड अनदर इज़ दी फार्माकोडायनेमिक्स. So pharmacology is basically derived from the word pharmakon, and which means a drug or a poison, and logos, which is discover, that is it broadly covers the information about its history, sources, physico-chemical properties, physiological actions, mechanism of action, absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, and the therapeutic uses of the drugs. If we talk about the experimental pharmacology, what is the difference between the pharmacology and the experimental pharmacology is that experimental pharmacology is one of the cornerstone of the drug discovery process. जो भी drugs हैं जो कि हम pharmacology में study करते हैं, they have to undergo certain types of processes which comes under the experimental pharmacology, and it is basically the drug discovery process. So the newer drug is basically undergo several types of testing, and this testing is basically governed under the experimental pharmacology. So it is the study of through several experimental design in a control situations which involve the testing of unknown substances used meant for the pharmacological purpose, and pharmaceutical products meant for the either human use and for the animal use. यानी एक पूरा ड्रग डिस्कवरी का जो प्रोसेस है उसके लिए हमारे पास एक पूरी साइंस है जो कि एक्सपेरिमेंटल फार्माकोलॉजी के नाम से जानी जाती है. What is the purpose of the pharmacological experiments? The purpose is to discover a newer pharmacological agent, and the researcher should be very clear in mind कि जो उसका target है उसको पहले से set करना है. For example, basically this type of research is governed under the sophisticated techniques हैं. इसमें basically किसी organization के अंदर ही ये research होती है. So the researcher being and under the organization basically focus on ideas के कहाँ पे उसका जो डोमेन है रिसर्च का वो करनी है. फॉर एग्जांपल आइदर द ड्रग विल बी दी एंटी कैंसर, एंटी डायबिटिक, एंटी कोलेस्ट्रॉल, एंटी डायबिटिक है जो पहले से है उसको डिफाइन हो कि वो कौन से एक्सपेक्ट को ड्रग की वो एक्सप्लोर करना चाह रहा है. यानी वेग नहीं हो, शुरू से ही जो है वो उसको एक आइडिया लेके चलेगा और उसी के एनिमल मॉडल्स, उसी के स्टेप्स को वो फॉलो करेगा. What is the history of the drug discovery process? बेसिकली अगर हम बात करें तो हमारे पास बहुत ज़्यादा हिस्ट्री नहीं अवेलेबल है, एंड यूजुअली हिस्ट्री जो अवेलेबल है वो हमारे पास है अबाउट 2500 ईयर्स अगो की हिस्ट्री है, विच इज़ जो कि हमारे पास एंशंट टाइम है, ग्रीस टाइम है. If we talk about the example taken from the history, we can see that salicylic acid was initially found in the bark of the willow tree. And bark of the willow tree is basically used as a for the treatment of the inflammation and for the treatment of the edema. And in 1899, Bayers basically marketed the aspirin, which is the acetyl salicylic acid, and its mechanism was explored in the 1970. अब अगर देखें तो 70 years के बाद उसका mechanism जो है वो explore हुआ, which highlights that it is basically the inhibition of the prostaglandin synthesis through the COX enzyme. तो एग्जैक्ट इनिशियली जो थे हमारे पास हमारी जो ट्रेडिशनल प्रैक्टिस है वो ये कि वी हैव सेवरल हर्ब्स which are traditionally used as a medicine. However, we don't know the mechanism, we don't know the chemical. Similarly, we have the morphine in 1806 isolated from the nuts from the plant, and Nux vomica contain the strychnine containing plants, and then we have the muscarine, and there will be the isolation of the epinephrine from the adrenal gland extract. यानी पहले हमारे पास सिर्फ source जो थी वो animal plants थी, then we have the source through the animals. Then we have the invention of several types of the equipments like chymograph, जिससे जो है हमारा पूरा जो एक्सपेरिमेंटल फार्माकोलॉजी है वो रिविजनलाइज हो गया, एंड वी हैव नाउ several types of sophisticated equipments which we are using during the drug discovery processes. The invention of chymograph basically invent the techniques that and the method which keep the organ isolated and alive outside the body. And now pharmacologists adopted new chymographic methods of the conducting these physiological experiments for the recording of the drug effects and observing the changes in the physiological functions by administration of the drug at the variable in time. Now, the experimental pharmacology is tremendously drifted from the conventional approach, जिसमें हम basically सिर्फ उसके effects देखते थे, which is now converted to the molecular and the biochemical aspects. तमाम aspects जो हैं वो उसके now वो determine किए जाते हैं, and these advancements are due to the advancement of the electrophysiology and molecular biology and the biochemistry, and improvement in the electronic and digital recording systems. We have several softwares, and these softwares and these techniques basically broaden the horizon of the experimental pharmacology. If we talk about the scope of the pharmacology, we can say that our main target is to determine or find out the therapeutic agent which is not available for करंटली कोई भी ऐसी अगर डिजीज़ हैं जिसके लिए हमारे पास थेरेप्यूटिक एजेंट नहीं है, तो द मेन पर्पस इज़ टू डिटरमिन दी थेरेप्यूटिक एजेंट, एंड वी हैव the scope to study the safety of the drug and to study the efficacy of the drug and to study the integrated connections between the pharmacology, its mechanism and its toxicology. And for the education purpose, we can also study the pharmacology in the experimental field. We will discuss now one by one. So for the research purpose, research means that we are doing something again and again, and search means to find new facts. So basically a research is basically a careful inquiry or examination to reveal the facts or principles in order to ascertain something. And you can say that it is a systematic and refined technique of thinking and employing the specialized tools and procedure to get the accurate results and to have a solution of a problem that would be possible under ordinary means. And in pharmacology, the research is basically to discover a new therapeutic agent. So it is a quantitative measurement through the careful feature of the fact. Another scope is the safety pharmacology. Basically, we have certain types of drugs. Still, we have drugs in which we have certain types of adverse effects and patient-related outcomes, like there may be the disability, there may be the death of a person, there may be certain type of discomfort due to the use of the drug, and due to these undesirable effects, the safety pharmacology is the branch of the pharmacology is basically set up to detect and investigate the undesirable pharmacodynamics effects of the newer chemical entity और दी अवेलेबल ड्रग्स जो कि हमें अगर कुछ है उसमें एग्जैक्ट हमें नहीं पता तो फिर ओल्डर ड्रग्स की भी हम सेफ्टी फार्माकोलॉजी डिटरमिन कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल इनिशियली इट हैज़ बीन फाउंड दैट कॉक्स अगर हम बात करें वी टॉक अबाउट दी कॉक्स साइक्लोऑक्सीजनेज इनहिबिटर्स लाइक प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन इनहिबिटर्स लाइक सैलिसिलिक एसिड like other NSAIDs, it has been found that they relieve the pain quickly, and they have the side effects of the ulcer and renal damage. And basically, if we go through the cyclooxygenase 2 enzyme inhibitors, it has been found that it relieves the pain quickly as compared, and the duration is also long, but it also found that it increases the incidence of the myocardial infarction due to the inhibition of COX-2 enzymes. So this is an adverse effect जो कि initially determined नहीं हुआ. So we have several types of drugs which have the adverse effects, and these are dose related. So the study which entitles these type of adverse effects come under the safety of the drug. Then we have the efficacy, which can be assessed accurately only in the ideal condition, and efficacy of is basically a criteria which is basically अगर हम clinical efficacy की बात करें तो it is basically performed in a controlled clinical trial, and effectiveness is may differ from person to person. One drug is may be efficacious in a clinical trial, but however it may not be efficacious in the population. So there is a diversion कि कोई drug है जो कि efficacious है तो वो कितने हद तक efficacious है, it can be determined by using the experimental pharmacology. And there is a need of newer pharmacological in case of neuropharmacology and behavioral pharmacology. And we have another important aspect is the cancer pharmacology, जिसमें हमारे पास research जो है वो continue है. Another important field is the cardiovascular pharmacology, जिसमें focus करेंगे basically regarding the heart and the integration of the brain. And we have certain interdisciplinary techniques which involve the biochemical pharmacology, molecular pharmacology, drug metabolism and disposition, and endocrine pharmacology. Newer area is the pharmacogenomics and the functional genomics. Now treatment criteria ये है कि gene therapy के through हम जो भी diseases हैं उनको control करें, and there will be treatment at the genetic level. So it is another approach, another area जिसमें हमारे पास जो है वो रिसर्च हो रही है. देन वी हैव दी क्वांटिटेटिव एंड सिस्टमिक फार्माकोलॉजिकल रिसर्च, जिसमें हमारे पास बेसिकली प्रोटियोमिक्स एंड मेटाबॉलिक पाथवे एंड डेटा इंटीग्रेशन एडवांसमेंट है, जिसमें हम बेसिकली वी हैव सेवरल टाइप्स ऑफ मॉडल्स. देन वी हैव दी molecular pharmacology, which reveals the mechanism of a drug action. And this mechanism basically provides an information of the cellular system and explore the drug-induced cell signaling and mechanism of the drug-induced toxicity. The most important and the newer aspect is the therapeutics bioengineering, and in this, the bioengineering is basically involved and the development of several type of vaccines and the drugs and the nucleic acid delivery system, which are basically designed for the micro and nanoparticle for the treatment of the any pathological diseases and the tissue repair. Therapeutic bioengineering basically undertake the experimental work that integrates the cellular and molecular approaches of the bioengineering tools. यानी ये बहुत ही हमारा न्यूअर फील्ड है जिसके ज़रिए हम न्यूअर हमारे पास कंपाउंड जो है वो बेसिकली हम एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं थ्रू दी बायो इंजीनियरिंग. Another important aspect is the systemic and integrative pharmacology, in which there is a need of balancing the drug benefits and adverse effects. यानी एक तो ये कि सिर्फ efficacy मालूम कर लें, एक criteria ये कि सिर्फ हम safety को देखें. But if we talk about the human use of a drug, there should be a balance. Whether a drug is indicated is depend on the balance of its benefits and its harm. So we have to check it simultaneously that the drug should be therapeutically safe and therapeutically efficacious and free from the adverse effect, or even it is एक certain level पे इतनी हो कि वो human use के लिए approve हो सके. Otherwise we can't use as a drug. The main goal of the drug development is to have large differences between the dose that is the efficacious and the dose that causes the adverse effect. And the large differences is called with the therapeutic index ratio or the therapeutic window. If the therapeutic index is narrow, for example, less than 2, it means that the drug cannot be used for a drug purpose, and it is mainly come under the risk drugs like warfarin has a narrow therapeutic index, where there is a risk of excessive bleeding due to its excessive anticoagulation effect, as its effective dose become the toxic dose. Another area where experimental pharmacology is studied are the medical institutes like pharmacy institutes, like in MBBS, in B.Pharm, PharmD studies, in MPhil PhD scholars for the research purpose, and for the veterinary schools where research is going as a curriculum of the studies. How we will explore the drug? The drug will be explored by following several approaches, and the most important approach is the natural sources that are either plant derived, that are either microbial derived, or from the marine animals. One approach is to explore the natural products, and it is one of the most successful type, in which we take the help of the traditional herbal medicines and we take the help of their traditional use. उससे हम एक help लेते हैं, एक insight लेते हैं, जिसके ज़रिए usually कोई newer pharmacological drugs जो हैं 70% chances है कि वो synthesize वो discover हो जाएं by using the first approach. Then we have another approach in which we are using the biochemical tool, in which we are exploring and we are synthesizing the structures, and thousands of compounds have to be synthesized, and they are checked by the process of the pharmacology or experimental pharmacology, which usually have several type of failures, and it leads to the determination of one lead compound. Then we have another approach that we have the drug available, and the drug has certain side effects, which, for example, minoxidil. Minoxidil is basically initially approved for the hypertension and as a vasodilator. However, its side effects was the growth of the male pattern-like hair on the face of the female, and due to this adverse effect, now it is approved for the baldness. यानी गंशपन के इलाज के लिए now minoxidil is a drug of choice. Another approach by making agonists and antagonists by टेकिंग द इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ द रिसेप्टर्स। रिसेप्टर्स के हिसाब से हम उसका कोई एगोनिस्ट देखें कि एगोनिस्ट का स्ट्रक्चर ये है, और उसमें कुछ स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस कर दी जाएँ, कुछ डेरिवेटाइजेशन कर दी जाए विद द हेल्प ऑफ द फार्मास्यूटिकल केमिस्ट्री टूल। Then we can synthesize the antagonist, and after synthesis we can use the drug as an antagonist. Several type of drugs जो हैं, जो कि blockers होते हैं, receptors blockers होते हैं, they are discovered, they are synthesized by this approach. Then we have the manipulation of the genes, and here we have the genetic engineering. यहाँ पे biotechnology involved है, और इसमें basically gene therapy और उसके ज़रिए हम hormones and vaccines और bio products can be हम synthesize कर सकते हैं. These are the research methods of pharmacological experiments, and we have the pharmacological experiments regarding the cancer, regarding the pain, metabolical disorders, respiratory disorders, and psychopharmacological models. We have in vitro toxicology studies, which we basically design for the safety pharmacology. We have the in vivo toxicological studies, we have the separate safety pharmacological studies, we have the drug metabolism and pharmacokinetic studies, and at the last we have certain pathological and biochemical studies, which we will discuss in a separate lecture. If we talk about the methods, we have the in vivo methods and the in vitro methods. And in vivo methods are those methods which are performed in a living organism, while in vitro studies are those in which we isolate the cells and perform outside the living organism. The example of these are the integrated in vivo studies, in which the tests are conducted in the whole live animals. We have the pharmacokinetic studies, which are basically the in vivo studies, integrated in vivo studies. We have certain types of tools to investigate these type of studies, like HPLC and ELISA. We have certain in vitro techniques in which we are using cell culture and cloning techniques. We have molecular biological techniques, and basically, as these are all the live cells, then we have to study the protein biology and several techniques which are responsible for the determination of the protein of a living organism. These are the basic screening tool, step by step, जिसमें हम एक एक step को करेंगे जो कि follow होगा दूसरे step के उसमें. These are the pilot experiment. Initially, whatever the procedure, हमें pilot experiment start में करना पड़ेगा. And in the pilot experiment, the focus is to calculate and select the dose. And by this, the LD50 and ED50 can be calculated, and therapeutic इसमें efficacy कि कितनी % डोज जो है वो efficacious है, कौन सी डोज पे lethal है, वो pilot experiment से determine होता है. Then we have the basic screening on basic pharmacological tests, in which we have in vivo studies, and in which we determine the efficacy of a drug molecule, which is followed by the in vivo toxicology. This is followed by the in vivo toxicological studies, which are either single dose studies or the repeated dose studies. They are the acute studies as well as subacute and subchronic studies, and it is then followed by the chronic toxicology studies. हर ड्रग को अब जो है वो इस टॉक्सिकोलॉजी स्टडी से क्रॉस होना पड़ता है, अनलेस एंड अंटिल टॉक्सिकोलॉजिकल डेटा इज़ अवेलेबल, अदरवाइज इट इज़ नॉट अप्रूव्ड फॉर द ह्यूमन यूज़. तो टॉक्सिकोलॉजी स्टडी जो है वो हमें करनी ही पड़ती है, एंड इन विट्रो भी करनी पड़ती है, एंड इन वो भी करनी पड़ती है ड्यूरिंग द इनिशियल ड्रग डिस्कवरी प्रोसेस. Then again, it is followed by the several in vivo safety pharmacological evaluation of these studies, and after that the drug is approved for the administration in the humans. These are all preclinical studies which usually done before the clinical trials, and after that clinical trials are there, which is basically trial involving the people. There are basically two types of studies, in which observational studies and the clinical trials. So observational study is the normal studies in which we observe the people in the normal settings and research, gather information about the volunteers which are participating in the specific types of study. And these are journal studies, and basically are governed under the several practitioners. However, the जो clinical trials हैं, they are basically the studies which are governed under the FDA, and they are research studies performed in the people that are aimed for the evaluation of the medical, surgical or behavioral intervention of the newer pharmacological agent. And बेसिकली क्लिनिकल ट्रायल का जो है वो पूरा एक क्राइटेरिया है जो कि हम एक अलग उसमें डिस्कस करेंगे. सो फार्माकोलॉजी में हम बेसिकली डील करेंगे प्री क्लिनिकल स्टडीज़ में, एंड प्री क्लिनिकल स्टडीज़ में वी हैव दी एनिमल स्टडीज़, एंड एनिमल स्टडीज़ में अगर हम डिस्कस करें वी हैव इन वीवो स्टडीज़ एंड इन विट्रो स्टडीज़. एंड इन विट्रो स्टडीज़ में हमारे पास एफिकेशियस स्टडी हैं एंड एज वेल एज दी टॉक्सिकोलॉजिकल स्टडीज़ हैं. While if we talk about the clinical trials, we have the trials जब भी वो ड्रग टॉक्सिकोलॉजिकल स्टडीज़ को पास करेगी एंड देन उसके फेजेस को उसका डेटा अवेलेबल है, जिसमें हमारे पास ड्रास्टिक एंड ट्रेमेंडस डेटा अवेलेबल है. उसकी जो टॉक्सिकोलॉजी एंड एफिकेसी हमने एनिमल्स पे की है वो अवेलेबल है. उसके बाद हम उसका अप्रूवल लेते हैं फ्रॉम दी FDA और फ्रॉम दी गवर्न अथॉरिटी ऑफ दी कंट्री. Then this drug is approved for the clinical trials. The clinical trials में then we have 4 phases in which the drug has to go through phases. उसका पूरा data collect किया जाता है. Then जो है उसके बाद जो है वो research होती है. For example, phase 1 is there in which the experimental treatment was given on a small group on the healthy people like 20 to 80 up to 100. And basically it is used to judge its safety and to determine the side effects and to find out the correct dose and dosage in the healthy individuals. Because जो initial जो dose develop हुई थी वो dose थी for the animals. Now at the first level the safety and efficacy was determined and the dosage on the human use जो है वो determine करते हैं. And basically phase 1 में healthy people use करते हैं. It is followed by the, अगर ये successful हो जाता है उसमें कोई ऐसे side effects नहीं आते हैं जो कि hazardous हैं, then it is followed by the phase 2 trial which is basically comprising of the more people up to 100 to 300 people. And basically phase 1 emphasizes on the safety, while phase 2 emphasizes on the effectiveness कि कितनी effective है. And in phase 2 trial basically patients are having a certain type of disease or a condition. If these trials are continue and they provide a data which showing the drug is safe and which showing that the drug is efficacious, then even for 1 to 2 years or several years, then it is followed by the phase 3 trials. And phase 3 trials is again the phase for the effectiveness of the drug, but with the larger populations and with the different dosage. And in this phase 3 trial, basically it gathers the information about the both aspects like safety and efficacy. And in this the drug is using in the combination with other drugs as well. यानी ड्रग इंटरेक्शन भी हम इसमें देखेंगे फॉर कि कोई कोमॉर्बिडिटी है उसके साथ ड्रग्स दे रहे हैं. नंबर ऑफ पेशेंट्स आर मोर as compared to phase 3, and the number of subjects usually from several hundred to about 3,000 people. If the data is collected is approved by the FDA, then and the trials are positive, then the drug is approved at the experimental device of the drug at phase 3 level. Then after phase 3, the drug is approved for the marketing. And now the company or the organization which is responsible for the conduction of the whole study is get the patent. And after getting the patent, he is the only manufacturer जो कि वो drug को जो है वो manufacturer and sold करेगा. This phase after the sale starting फौरन से ही phase 4 start हो जाएगा. A phase 4 trial is basically governed under the approval of the FDA, and it basically monitor the safety of the drug in a larger diverse populations. Even you can say that it is basically a population up to millions of the people. जिसमें data जो है वो still collect होगा for the next 5 years, and the data has to submit to the FDA. डिटेल में हम जो क्लिनिकल ट्रायल है वो एक अलग से जो है वो करेंगे, एंड देयर आर मैनी रीजंस. बेसिकली जो लोग हैं उनको पार्टिसिपेट करना पड़ता है टू फॉर अ क्लिनिकल ट्रायल, एंड देयर आर मैनी रीजंस वाई पीपल वांट टू जॉइन द क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स. अगर कोई ऐसी डिजीज़ है, फॉर एग्जांपल कैंसर है, फॉर एग्जांपल ऐसी इन्फेक्शियस डिजीज़ लाइक कोरोना जिसमें सफरिंग बहुत ज़्यादा है और इसमें मोर्टेलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है, दैन जो वॉल्टियर्स हैं, वी हैव द वॉल्टियर्स जिसमें आराम से जो है जो पेशेंट्स हैं वो एग्री कर लेते हैं दे टू पार्टिसिपेट इन अ क्लिनिकल ट्रायल विद द इन्फॉर्म कंसेंट, जिसमें डुअल पार्टी एग्रीमेंट होता है बिटवीन द मैन्युफैक्चरर एंड द पेशेंट. So many people are participating in a clinical trial, and they want to play a more active role in their own health care because these are patients. तो इनिशियल जो फेज़ 1 के वॉल्टियर हैं वो मिलना बहुत मुश्किल होते हैं, बिकॉज फेज़ 2 से ऑनवर्ड्स वी हैव द पेशेंट्स, वी बेसिकली यूजिंग द पेशेंट्स. तो पेशेंट्स अपने आप को जो है फिर वो जो है एज अ मॉडल दे सकते हैं, एंड दे मे बी यंग, दे मे बी ओल्ड. देयर इज़ नो कंडीशन कि वो डिपेंड करता है कि कौन कौन से उस पर रिसर्च कंडक्ट की जा रही है. ठीक है, दिस इज़ द ब्रीफ समरी of the clinical trial. If we talk about the preclinical study, it's basically done in vitro and in vivo studies. Then if it is successful, it is followed by the phase 1 study, and if phase 1 study is successful, then it is followed by the phase 2 study. Phase 1 is basically conducted on the, and we can say our drug discovery process is a process in which we have the 5 phases. So there is a preclinical research. सबसे पहले हमें पहले preclinical research करनी है, and this preclinical research is followed by the clinical research. Preclinical research में हमारे पास basically we have in vitro and in vivo studies. दोनों aspects से cover होंगे. Safety and pharmacology and efficacy study both are done in the animals, and उसमें टाइम लग सकता है. सो क्लिनिकल ट्रायल इज़ बेसिकली डन विद अ रीज़न टू बिलीव दैट द न्यूअर कंपाउंड विल इम्प्रूव द केयर ऑफ द पेशेंट. फेज 0 इज कैन बी से एज द प्री क्लिनिकल स्टडी, जो कि प्री क्लिनिकल स्टडी है उसको हम कह सकते हैं. एंड फेज 0 ट्रायल आर द फर्स्ट क्लिनिकल ट्रायल डन अमंग द पीपल. फेज 1 स्टडी जो कि हमारे पास है, दे एम हाउ द ड्रग is processed in the body and how it affect the body, and in this trial a very small dose of a drug is given about 10 to 15 people, यानी 10 to 15 people से start करते हैं, and then it goes up to 100 people, and the main target is the यानी इससे पहले हमारे पास फेज़ 0 स्टडी भी है. फेज़ 0 स्टडी में हमारे पास सिर्फ 10 से 15 लोग होंगे, जिसमें हमें बहुत ही स्मॉल डोज देख के देखनी होगी कि कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है, कोई साइड इफेक्ट्स तो नहीं है. इट इज़ फॉलोड बाय द फेज़ 1 स्टडी. द फेज़ 1 ट्रायल is the main aspect is to determination of its safety, and now the number of patients is increased up to 20 to 30 or up to 100, and doctors are basically involved in this study by giving a very low dose of the drug to the few patients, and then gradually increases the dose to the other patient until the evidence of the side effects or the desired effects दोनों की तरफ से हमने देखकर फिर हम उसकी जो है वो डोज सेट करते हैं. यानी इसमें फेज़ 1 में बेसिकली डोज इज ऑल्सो सेट. The drug, if found to be safe enough, then it is go under the phase 2 clinical trial. As we have discussed, that phase 2 trial जो है वो mostly जो है वो affected person में हो. For example, if a drug is an anti-cancer drug, then the patient will be the specific type of cancerous patient, and this is done on the larger groups. we can say that the group is the group of people is about 100 to 500 people for further evaluation, and in this the focus is the efficacy of a drug. जाता है एंड दीज आर बेसिकली रैंडमाइज ट्रायल, उसमें कोई लिमिट नहीं की जाती एज में, और उसमें रैंडमाइजेशन इज़ नीडेड टू मेक श्योर that the people in all trials are alike, and there will be a randomization. The study will be stopped early if the side effects of the newer drug are too severe, or if one group has much better result. यानी अगर बहुत ज़्यादा साइड इफ़ेक्ट्स आना शुरू हो जाएंगे तो फेज़ 3 पे भी ड्रग जो है वो उसकी जो स्टडी है वो स्टॉप की जा सकती है. तो फेज़ 3 क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स के बाद usually FDA will approve the use of a new drug for a journal public health, and it is followed by the phase 4 trials. And in phase 4, the drug is tested in several hundreds or thousands of the people, and basically this allow the better research on short-lived and long-lasting effect of the safety and efficacy. And इसमें वो इफ़ेक्ट्स भी सामने आ जाते हैं जो कि प्रीवियस फेज में नहीं आए, क्योंकि पॉपुलेशन साइज जो है वो इंक्रीज हो गया है. अगर हम टाइमिंग की बात करें तो वी हैव दी टाइमिंग्स, हाउ मच टाइमिंग्स आर देयर टू फॉर द ड्रग डिस्कवरी प्रोसेस इन यूनाइटेड स्टेट. अगर हम बहुत ही फास्ट ट्रैक में जाएं तो इट विल टेक अबाउट 12 years फॉर एन एक्सपेरिमेंटल ड्रग टू पास थ्रू ऑल दीज फेजेस. And or among them about 5,000 drugs, only 5 or 10 drugs are approved for the market. यानी मार्केट के लिए for the people के लिए हम सिर्फ 5 ड्रग among 5,000 drugs जो कि टेस्टेड होती हैं उनमें से अप्रूव होती हैं for the human use. Initially, if the researcher have a preclinical data, so preclinical data is basically अप्रूव करवाया जाता है by the FDA by under the investigational new drug process which is called as IND filing and IND approval on the basis of its preclinical data, and after the approval of the IND which is usually up to 5 years, 5 to 7 years के बाद जो है वो डाटा की टेस्टिंग के बाद the drug can be go up to the clinical trials. And before clinical trials, certain questions are there that who qualifies to participate, how many people will be part of the study, how long the study, and what will be the control group, and what are the limitations, what will be the research bias, and what will be the route of administration, what is the dosage, how can assessment can be made. These are all the questions which need to be followed up before the start of the study. If we talk about the length of study, phase 1 usually end up to several months or 1 year. And if we talk about the phase 2, usually it is maximum up to 2 years. And approximately 33% of the drug move to the next phase. And if we talk about the length of study of the phase 3, then it will be from 1 year to 4 years. And after the approval, there will be the marketing permission and the drug undergo the phase 4 study. So this is all about the drug discovery process. I hope so कि मैंने कोशिश की है आप लोगों को अच्छी तरह ब्रीफ करने के लिए कि किस तरह एक्सपेरिमेंटल फार्माकोलॉजी जो है वो हेल्प करती है क्लिनिकल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द ड्रग अप्रूवल फॉर द यूज़ फॉर द ह्यूमन यूज़. ठीक है, थैंक यू. इट्स ऑल अबाउट द टुडेज लेक्चर.